How's it going, everybody? This is a very special episode today. We just got out of a first-hand screening of what was it called? Goodbye, Christopher Robin, here up in Salt Lake, and I'm excited to be here. I am Ryan, and I am a Cinemaholic.
I'm Bela, and I'm a Cinemaholic.
I'm Matthew, and I'm kind of a cinemaholic.
And I'm Steven, a Cinemaholic. So Goodbye Christopher Robin is about Winnie-the-Pooh, except don't think bright colors and low drama and stuff like that. This is very heavy, very historical, and it really captures what you'd imagine life to be like for Christopher Robin, who gets thrown in the limelight against his will. And while his father is dealing with PTSD after World War I, by the way, it stars Margot Robbie and Domhnall Gleeson, and there's some touching moments at the end. We thought everyone had a cold because there's lots of sniffling going on. Didn't shed a tear. Matt over here bawled, but yeah, it had some really strong moments. Some of it didn't work for me. I didn't care for the characters for much of it, just because they came across as pretty snobby, and they could have been humanized a little bit more. But overall, I really enjoyed it.
So the first part of this movie was really quite boring. It didn't actually start getting entertaining until about, let's say, half an hour in. Then things really started to pick up, and the characters actually started to develop. And I think it's kind of a hard story to ever see a child that's kind of put into the limelight and overexposed like that. But for the most part, I mean, it's a great movie. It is touching, and Winnie-the-Pooh's been a huge part of my life ever since I was a child. So I really quite enjoyed how it turned out.
Okay, so I agree with both of them. I really like this movie, and it's a biopic, and it's really sad to see a child like Matt said, like be exposed like that and not knowing really what is going on, or and I didn't cry. Yeah, I feel so cruel, but I don't know. I really enjoyed this movie, and I like Winnie the Pooh. I watched the movies. I never read the books, but I really enjoyed this movie. It was great.
Awesome. So from a movie standpoint, I think it worked on quite a few levels. The first act for me just didn't really work as much as I wanted. It felt like the first act and the third act were just kind of there because they needed to be there. Where it felt like the majority of the story that these people wanted to tell and felt like they needed to tell was the second act. And so it felt like the first and third acts were just kind of second thoughts. And it did kind of make some of the characters paper thin, and there wasn't much development on a few of them, mainly Margot Robbie's character. I don't think she was developed as much as she could have and should have been. And she did good for what she was given, for sure. I think she's a phenomenal actress, but kind of a miss for me there. Overall, I think it really got to me in some places, and like I said, the second act was full of the adventures and the knowledge, and really worked. But overall, it's kind of a hit and a miss. There were a lot of moms crying, and so I think this is a movie marketed specifically for that audience. So definitely, if you're in that audience, check it out. Overall, I think I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7.5 out of 10. I definitely think this is one that you should check out if you like Winnie-the-Pooh.
Hey, so I'll score it 8.25 out of 10, and I really enjoyed it. Of course, there were things that didn't work, but overall, I really liked it.
So I'm going to give this movie a 7. Overall, it was really good. So I'm going to give this movie a 7. Overall, it was good, but there were definitely parts that just irritated me and I think could have been better.
I would give it a 6 out of 10. If I was good at math and did points, I would do 6.5 out of 10. But definitely a very important story, but the characters, they just didn't jive with me a lot of the time.
So I think that kind of sums it up for today. this was an awesome experience. I'm glad that these guys stayed after and did a review. This is our second location trying to film this. We got kicked out by the cops on our first one. Obviously, we chose a bus stop, and that probably wasn't the best. But thank you guys for sticking with it and watching us anyways. Stay tuned, subscribe so that you can catch all of our reviews and trailer reactions and such. We're trying to get a lot more screening passes so that we can let you know beforehand if these are movies that you should check out. And if, like we said, if you like Winnie-the-Pooh, it's definitely worth a check out. I don't know if you should be running to the theater. It is limited release, so maybe wait until it's streaming or on Redbox, but definitely keep an eye out for it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to follow us on our social media platforms or at your local Cinemark for a few more weeks. Until next time, bye.
Bye.